Thank you, nice robot lady. So after
Robot lady has a name, like Siri has a name, but does the Zoom robot lady have a name?
should she? Is it more weird that Siri has a name or that she doesn't have a name?
I think that comes down to like ethics in robotics. It's like, do we give these, pseudo AI beings identities or no?
Well, that gets
Food
into
for
the
thought.
question. That gets into the question of, by naming them, will we create the higher level of AI? And by doing that, well, then they become sentient, and then we're into iRobot.
I think that goes like 2 or 3 steps further. There was a guy on Love Island recently who looked like Sonny from iRobot, and I thought that was funny.
I'm
Like the main character.
I'm so glad that you watch Love
You
Island.
watch Love Island too?
I haven't in a while, but
Oh, bro, you gotta catch up. I'm not even embarrassed about it. That's the funny thing. I'll talk about Love Island. Our neighbors' parents are here in town, and they've got 2 kids and stuff, and so they're just visiting for a little while. And we were shooting the shit with them, and the matriarch looked at me and was like, we were talking about shows and stuff, and she was like, "Oh, I just watched trash TV like Love Island and The Bachelor," and I was like, "I love Love Island. It's so great." And she was like, "Why? It's terrible." And I was like, "I know, but it's so." It's like I didn't say it was like quality TV, but it kind of is too.
It's mostly garbage, but also
It's
so
like well
great.
orchestrated garbage. In the same way, like I would listen to a piano burn just to hear what it sounds like. It's like it's not about like the destruction of it. It's like watching it in itself as art. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, trash TV is good for you. Helps you appreciate like really high quality TV.
Oh, dude, yeah, that's so. Right before the pandemic, it was actually a thing amongst the temple homies. Every Tuesday night, we'd go over to.
When you say the temple homies, I'm picturing a bunch of dudes with like the curls.
I wish I was hanging out with a bunch of
temple homies like that.
Yeah,
I'm picturing, which is way cooler because they probably are very opinionated. I don't know.
yeah. No, I would love to hang out with a bunch of Hasidic Jews, but unfortunately, I am condemned to spending time with other sad and emotionally distraught teachers.
Yeah, you never have to wonder what a Hasidic Jew is thinking. They always tell you. God love them because it's so great. It's always nice.
There is something nice about like built into that culture of like there's no sugarcoating or there's no like passive aggressiveness.
Yeah, it's like one of those things, growing up in the South, you run into people and families who don't tell you what they're thinking and instead are like, "Oh, bless your heart." It's like that strategy of like, I'm not actually going to ever tell you what I think, but I'm going to give you big hints, but very passively in a way that's going to drive you fucking insane. Like it, and it's the worst. And I wish it upon no one. We're headed out to Oklahoma this next week to do some wedding recon. Yay! And and like talk to Liz's grandparents. And God love them, they're great. If they're listening, love you guys. But I'm assuming they're listening.
And I'm gonna take a soft bet.
I love you guys.
And say
they definitely are. Actually, you know what? They're 100% listening right now. Right now.
So shout out. Is it Mima and Papa?
It's actually Mops and Pops. Shout out Mops and Pops. So
Mops
excited.
And Pops. That's beautiful.
Mops and Pops is great. When you're a grandparent, I'm manifesting this. When you're a grandparent, what do you want your grandparent like nomenclature to be? Because it's different for everybody. I've got a big history of like Nana and Papa in our clan. But like I Papa Max is just cool. It's just
pretty dope.
That's pretty dope. Yeah. Like I'm a huge fan of that. And then my stepdad is Papa Steve right now, which is also pretty cool. And Liz's dad's name is Steve because it's like the ultimate dad name to come out of the 90s.
Yeah.
And like if you were a child of the 90s, your dad is more likely than not named Steve. And that's like a statistic that I definitely made up, but it's probably true.
Well, in 10 years, in 20 years, there's going to be Papa Kyle.
So many of them.
And that's awful.
There's going to be a lot of Mama Britneys too. I'm anticipating like a lot of Nana Kates, like Nana Caitlin,
Nana Stephanie,
Anna Jennifer.
Oh man, a lot of our childhood names do not age well.
Well, I'd rather they not age well in that direction than the opposite of like planning your child's name as a grandparent. Because like, fair. Who's naming their child fucking Ethel these days? That's just mean. Like, there's no nickname for that. If you're in school and you're like 6, you're just like, come on, Ethel. Like, it just feels weird.
Bro, there's
like Effie. Effie sounds terrible.
That's awful. 60 years ago, there was
fun of her and call her Methyl. Like, and that's just dark.
So bad.
It's not even funny. It's just dark. Like, I had a friend who would call me Maxaroni and Cheese, and I was like, oh man. I remember very clearly in 3rd grade being very, very like emotionally distraught over this. I was like, man, I can't think of a good name. And one day my mom was like, why don't you just call him Chris P. Tacos? And I was like, that's genius.
Yo, shout out mom. That's beautiful.
Actually made me feel better. And next time he was like, yo, Maxaroni. I was like, what's up, Crispy Tacos? And then just like dropped the mic and walked away. And then came back and was like, anyway, what do you want? Like, what's good? So I talked when I was 10.
Dude, I would expect nothing less. But dude, yeah, there was a 6-year-old at one point in time named Gertrude.
Yeah, like that's weird.
That's so strange.
Gertrude's fine to a degree because Gertie is like, I guess. But even then, like, I hate that. I just hate it. It's like I'm not a huge fan of the name Eugene either. I don't think Eugene works much. I've known some good Eugenes though. So like
Eugene, it doesn't sound like a bad person, but it's a rough name.
I like there are much worse. Like Ichabod is one that you can't really recover from.
Who the hell do you know?
None personally, thank God, because I'd probably have to cut him out of my life just because I can't deal with that. I didn't choose for them to be named that way. That's their problem. Sort of. Sort of their problem.
It's their family's fault.
Your name is Ichabod. Go by your middle name. God willing. Could it be worse? I don't think so, but maybe. Maybe.
Ichabod Adolf. Could you imagine?
Oh. Guest appearance.
What's up? I was gonna say wifey, but that's not wifey yet.
Soon enough.
Soon enough?
Yeah, soon enough.
What?
Not Labor Day yet, so she's wearing all white.
A year from now, y'all will be married, right?
I hope so.
Fingers crossed, assuming the world's not on fire.
Yeah, like it just depends on a couple. I mean, it just depends on the world, but also we're trying to get the feelers out right now because like we're wanting to do like May.
Okay.
Like, end of May 2022. Sounds great, except this whole pandemic thing is not getting better. And so we're just kind of since it's far enough away, we're like maybe we just like take a beat, see what happens in September, going into October. Now that like kids are back in school, which is like a whole nother thing. Like, how are you doing? Because I worry about all of my teacher friends because I just feel like a lot's being asked.
Yeah. Again,
and not even like school, just like a lot is being asked in very strange ways that doesn't have anything to do with your job, but is somehow tied to this expectation that you guys are supposed to follow.
Yeah.
Which isn't your fault. Like it's like so many things that aren't your fault. And it's just like, well, teachers just have to deal with it. Like I've talked to like my mom and stepdad last year, like towards the end of last year, had to end up doing like basically 3 different curriculums to suit kids who would come to school, kids who sometimes came to school, and kids who just didn't come to school. And that's fucking insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's awesome.
I don't think there's any other jobs right now that are like, you know what? Like, hey, I know you're doing your job one way. I kind of need you to also do it to accommodate to 2 other groups, but I'm not going to pay you any additional money.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Have those lesson plans ready
Have a great weekend.
for the next 2
Monday with
weeks.
the new lesson plans.
Oh, yeah, dude. I mean, I'm always kind of just fortunate being, small town Texas.
Well, the funny thing is that I grew up Temple adjacent, so Temple was the big town in the
area. Yeah. Well, I say
the landmark location of BJ's Brew House.
I say small town with a grain of salt.
On the pamphlets, like when I go to BJ's Brew House in Los Angeles, California, specifically Pasadena, Los Angeles doesn't have a BJ's. I have to go to Pasadena for that. But I go there, on their menu, they're like, check out our location in Temple, Texas. That's hilarious.
So any Californians or anybody in the United States, come visit your boy.
See where the magic happened initially. Visit Temple, Texas.
Come find me. I'll be there once a month when I forget how poor the food quality is.
Home of Temple College.
Neighbors of UMHB. If you want to go check out a really good D3 school.
You like Belton? Do you like Temple Plus? Called Belton. It's mentioned in King of the Hill at least twice. Which is great because the first time I rewatched King of the Hill recently over the pandemic because what else am I supposed to do? And there was a point where he was like, "Oh, well, we're playing Belton High School." And I was like,
that's crazy.
Just like pointing at the TV, like, that's it.
Similarly, I watched a couple episodes not too long ago, and they brought up Waxahachie, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, I know where that's at.
I know where that is. That's a real place.
That's a real place." And I remember like thinking like that episode, hearing that name, I was like, that's bullshit. That doesn't sound real. Waxahachie, come on now.
Oh, like half the cities in Texas don't sound real. Specifically, all the towns in Texas don't sound real. If it's a town, it probably sounds fake. It's like Texas rule of thumb. West, Texas, I get is a city. Sure it is. But like you have to say West, Texas versus West Texas.
Yeah.
There's a difference. Specifically because I want my kolaches from one of those places, not the other. I don't want to drive to El Paso for kolaches. I want to drive to El Paso for delicious tacos.
Yeah, I'm only getting tacos from El Paso.
Fuck yeah, it's all about the salsa out there. You kidding me? Only good thing they got going for them.
Haven't had a good taco in some time now. Jesus.
Oh yeah? Dude, I haven't had a good Tex-Mex in a minute. I'm just happy to eventually make my way back just to eat Tex-Mex. It's the greatest goddamn food in the world.
You got to slip down when you visit Oklahoma soon.
I know. We're going to be driving. I'm going to be in Texas in October, funny enough, just for a brief moment. But I'm trying to see if I can like get an extra day in to just like
go pop around.
Yeah, just pop around. I've got a friend who's getting married on like October 8th on a Friday. So the rehearsal dinner's on a Thursday. Like no one's working.
Yeah, that's poor planning.
You said your words, not mine, and I didn't say that,
bro.
Everyone listening. That was Marcus, not me.
I will take all the heat on that statement. I am Mr. Wedding. I could damn well be a wedding planner, and it's
objectively like a weird date.
Weird date.
And the only thing I could think of that it makes sense is that A, it was the only available date, or B, it was just significantly cheaper than doing it on a Saturday.
I get it. It makes sense.
Which sure, but like
if you're gonna do it in a weird time of the week, you got to do it in the summer, man.
Exactly, because like I feel like it's safe to assume that if you can knock out one demographic in terms of availability, it would be generally teachers.
Safe bet.
Kids who also have summer off.
Yep.
And if you knock out that giant, let's call it like 20 to 30% of your potential wedding guests, and I think that's probably a fair estimate in your average family, and families like ours, which undoubtedly have more than one teacher, directly, related to the family, I think it makes even more sense to just be like, hey, we're doing it either in the summer or on a weekend.
Or on the weekend, or Christmas.
Or Christmas, fuck it. Like, if it's just something very accessible.
Yeah, man, you got to be mindful of the entirety of the family dynamic.
I just feel like that's the respectful thing to do. I feel like that's also why you don't see too many August weddings. Also because we're in the northern hemisphere, and that would be fucking crazy to get married in August. You psychopath! Like, where are you getting married in August? I don't know.
It's only acceptable in Maine.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell me, go ahead, tell me where it's acceptable because I don't believe it.
Maine is the only
Maine still
thing.
probably gets hot and muggy and disgusting around this. If Maine is anything like the greater DC metropolitan area, that whole collection of cities that will never make sense to me because I grew up in the South where everything is like miles and miles away. Like to leave Texas, it takes a day. Like that,
Yeah.
this whole collective of metropolitan bullshit that's up in the Northeast, that will never make sense to me.
Nope.
And it's so hot there in the summer in a different way that like I
It's
get it.
garbage.
I don't want anything to do with it either. No marriage, no weddings in August.
I'm giving Maine the benefit of the doubt without knowing anything about their weather.
Okay,
But
that's fair. Maine gave us Stephen King.
if I were to take any bet on any state that is acceptable, what is your dog doing?
Got my hat. Hold on.
Goofy ass dog.
And we're back.
And we're back. What was I saying? Yeah,
Something about Maine.
it's the most north. It's got mad trees.
I think Alaska's the most north.
Alaska's a fake state, let's be honest.
No, Alaska's a territory at best.
Bro,
Not attached. It's a territory.
I refuse to believe that Alaska and Hawaii can't be a state until Puerto Rico's a state.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
That makes me so
That's
angry.
the biggest no-brainer I've ever heard in the world. And anyone who's like, well, I don't want 51 states. Like, yeah, make the Dakotas one state then. Who fucking cares? If you want it to stay the same, then stop. Like, if I guarantee you, if you like combined the Dakotas, it would
Or the
not.
Carolinas.
Fuck it, why not? Like, combine some. We could like. What? There wasn't like a war between the Carolinas that doesn't allow them to be one unit.
Yeah, why?
Like, there aren't even like there. I say the Dakotas specifically because that's a population of like half of LA in both of those states combined. Maybe. And so like combining those, like, come on.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
LA's.
I don't even think anyone who lives there would know.
No.
They'd just be like, oh, it's Dakota now. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I live in North Dakota. It's like, oh, great, you live in the north part of Dakota. Got it. Nailed it. All right, cool.
It's literally just California.
Yeah.
I live in.
Like, there's North California and SoCal, and they're very different.
Yeah.
But it's one state.
It's one California.
Yeah,
Yes.
You sound like a political ad.
Yeah, so just.
They're all over the place here. They're trying to recall the governor. It's crazy.
Hey, man.
It's crazy.
They were successful in New York, so I mean, you guys are the next.
Yeah, that guy had some sexual assault things. That was a little different.
Bro, he wasn't sexually assaulting anybody. He's just Italian.
What an argument.
What a guy that's your Hail Mary.
Woo! I mean, shoot your shot, but at the same time, that is quite the shot to take.
Quite the shot. And then the fact that he had the video evidence, like he was talking about it while the video was going. He's like, I've touched everybody, gay people, straight people.
What a way to justify.
Like, I get what you're saying, but this isn't like
does not apply.
Does not apply. And the fact that you put everything together just makes it even worse. Like, don't give me a video representation of it.
He's just digging a deeper hole. Hole. So what's new with you, man? Like, Marcus in the house.
I mean, we're in the house.
House de Bonilla.
As you can see, my awesome curtain, which is
that's a pretty awesome curtain.
Also functions as a blanket. Because it's a blanket.
This man's Eddie Bauer out here. All this
dude, the windows are super nice, but they're awkward shapes.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to take it down, but it's everything except for one window is I think about a foot wide and 4 feet tall.
The fuck?
Yeah, dude.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't get that at all. Like,
It looks so nice until like I was like, all right, let me go buy some curtains. And then I was like, oh, they don't make curtains for these windows.
so like okay, so like a foot wide, no, foot wide.
Yes.
A foot wide?
Uh
Oh, that's so dumb.
maybe
Are
18
there like
inches.
2 or 3 next to each other or just like one?
No, just one per room.
All right.
There's two in the in the master and then two in the living room. But the living room also has the wide like normal window.
There's got to be okay, now on principle, I want to figure this out. So the next week or so for me, for all of our listeners, our award-winning listeners, I am going to be researching feng shui for foot wide windows.
It's I think I'm looking at it and it's
A book by
I think
Max Carney.
it's either 18, it might be 2 feet. It might be 2 feet.
Still, like that. Even so, like that's so
It's
small.
very narrow.
Have like, is it deep or is it like?
Nope.
There's no like depth to it. It's just like window, like
just standard window
like,
depth.
sill?
Huh?
There's no like sill, like window sill where you could like sit.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's enough to put like it's about 5 inches.
Okay, that's pretty. That feels pretty standard.
Yeah,
Like 4 to 5 inches is standard there.
but
I'm so puzzled by your windows.
but
What else is going on?
I really haven't had much time to set up anything because I moved in the middle of band camp. So
Oh shit.
all I have set up is my living room and my kitchen. I have my office space put together. Nothing else is set up though. Like I'm looking at the box of everything that's supposed to go on this bookshelf to my left. And then there's like 3 boxes behind me. And then my bed is set up in my bedroom.
That's it, huh?
That's it. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, and like band camp doesn't slow down until
School starts, and now we're a week into school, and bam. So
yeah, shit, man. So like I guess Labor Day weekend would be the first, unless there's like some sort of marching competition for Labor Day.
When is Labor Day?
Next week.
Next week. I've got rehearsed what is that, the 6th?
Yes.
I'll have rehearsal that evening, but so
okay, that's not terrible though. Like on Monday that evening.
Yeah.
Okay, but you still have like a longer. You'll be able to sleep in on Monday.
Yeah, I'll be able to sleep
like,
in.
You might be able to knock some stuff out on Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. Assuming, and that's the flip side of it is I'm on top of it. I'm still finishing up writing the marching band show. I'm like really far behind because
are you writing the whole show?
The percussion book. Yeah.
Got it. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Do you write the drill for that too, or no?
I did, but then we found a local guy who does the wind book and the drill. So just like,
okay, cool. I've got a ton of connections with that too. If you ever need some additional support on that, seriously, because like I got wild connections with Texas, an international band, all connected to DPI course.
I'm looking for more work. If you could find me more schools to write for.
Yeah, I think I might be able to help you with that.
I'm trying to open up the portfolio. You know, your boy's always chasing the bag somehow. So
yeah. Let me. I'll see what I could do to connect you with the people that I know, because I know that they're always in the business of like going, like they get around.
Hell yeah.
Hey. Stop it.
But other than that, man, just kind of just trying to make it through the school year, man. This like we kind of started talking about the expectations for teaching is wild.
It is. It's poppycock is what it is. It's criminal.
Yeah. It was really funny, and you know, I might get in trouble for stating it out loud, but like I was supposed to turn 2 weeks of lesson plans in on Tuesday of this week, the first day of school.
Yeah.
I turned in bagel.
Wow. You got away with it too, huh? Well, I feel like you've got to have some leeway since band camp is going on.
Look, here's my lesson plan. UIL is October 18th. I'm gonna finish teaching it before then. There you go. There's my lesson plan.
Sounds like a plan.
Like,
could be worse. They could have you be doing like OKRs in the lesson plans.
Oh my god, dude. Well, they're you know, they want all these things from us, and it's like, cool, none of that translates to fine arts, so I don't know what you want. So once you can give me a legitimate definition, I'm gonna just keep doing what I'm doing, and we're just gonna act like everything's okay.
Yeah, who's the fine arts coordinator in Temple ISD? Because that would be, I'm assuming, a single person as opposed to the one that covers.
She's super understanding of it too. She's just like,
are in Region 8, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have like Dr. Herrera, because she would be Dr. Herrera's for KISD, and that only
yes,
the 4 schools.
Yeah.
So you guys have your own?
We have our own.
That's kind of weird though too, because it's only one high school.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. So, that sounds much easier than managing 4 high schools, but it's the same position.
But then you compare Dr. Herrera to what was his name, Machuca, for Northside ISD in San Antonio, who has 12 high schools.
I was gonna say probably significantly more. But also, I imagine, I would hope, a better fine arts coordinator. Maybe I don't know.
When I was in school, he was trash.
Yeah, I feel like there's a couple metropolitan areas, specifically like around San Antonio, that suffer because of the volume, the sheer volume of kids that they have to manage. And
it's impossible.
Not enough people in place.
No. And that's one of those weird things where, like, yeah, let me get 2 fine arts directors. But then you get into like the flip side of that coin, where you overdo the admin, and like a high school has 12 assistant principals. Like,
that's great. Our high school had 5 assistant principals. I remember that very clearly, because I was like, why do we have so many assistant principals? It's like, we have a principal who was this Jerry Jones looking motherfucker with a cowboy hat, who just kind of like came in boots every day and was like, all right, let's have a good day, kids. And then we just go to his office and then never be seen again.
Yep.
I remember him, Ralph Bray. I don't know if he's still alive, honestly. Nothing against him. Just, I like time. Like, I just don't.
It gets you.
It gets you. And that guy, time was coming for him. You could see the Reaper's scythe just like outside the next corner of the door. But oh god, man, like he just looked frail. And I don't even know what everybody was like, he's a good principal. Don't you love that in schools, in the school system, the greater socio-political school system, where people are like, oh, he's a good principal, or oh, they're a good teacher. It's like, how the fuck am I supposed to judge that based on you saying, what have you been taught by them? Do you
also
know,
what constitutes a good principal?
How do you measure that?
Yeah, like what makes a good principal?
Sorry.
Such an underwhelming spritz.
Yeah, what concept? I don't know what constitutes.
I don't know, man.
Because a principal, in theory, a school should be managed like a football team or a sports organization, where the principal is like your G. Well, no, honestly, I think superintendent is like the GM.
I'd agree with that. Yep.
Superintendent hires all the coaches, principals. Yep. Principals, those coaches hire their assistant coaches, your assistant principals, who got to get into specific stuff, and then your position coaches, your teachers.
Okay.
And so it starts with the GM. Like, bad ownership and bad GM can make for just like a shitty district. Absolutely. But if you have like a good coach, like if you let's for instance, because this is a Texas podcast, we use the Cowboys as an example.
Great example.
Mike McCarthy's a terrible coach.
God awful.
We all agree on this. Even Cowboys fans are like, oh, we didn't want him in the first place. It's like, I know. But Kellen Moore is an awesome offensive coordinator. So you can have a good you can have a bad head coach and a good offensive coordinator, just like you can have a bad assistant principal or team of principals, because they need teams, and have a great teacher. But they're always going to hold that teacher back because management isn't helping them put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
The Dallas Cowboys offense cannot succeed wholly unless the team succeeds, which is the responsibility of the head coach. Same too with principals and teachers.
Yeah,
that's my 2 cents.
I rock with you on that all day.
And if that was me jumping into that position, if I went back to school just for shits and giggles, if I made $1 million tomorrow, I'd just be like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna go to school and be a principal just so I could test the theory out, and then go be a principal and just be like, I'm working my way up because this is how we're gonna manage it. This is an organization. It's like manage it just like a football team.
Hell yeah.
If you did that in Texas, you know how many people would be like, hey, we'll just throw money at you until you figure it out.
All day.
Sorry, did you say that school is football now? I'm sorry, did you compare academia to the Dallas Cowboys?
Oh, foosball.
Count me in.
We are on board.
I am here for it.
I
am thump here for it. I'm making my own sound.
I think the best principal job is an elementary school.
I feel like, yeah, specifically because I think as an elementary principal, you get like kids in their rawest form, and even your bad kids aren't really bad. Like they're not bad, they're misguided.
Yeah.
Like no kid is bad. Like there are very few kids who are bad kids.
Yeah.
Far and few between. It's mostly just misguided. If they're bad, it's because you're not seeing their side of it. Yeah. Would you agree? I mean, I feel like that. I feel like, yeah, and I feel like if you work in harder districts or troubled districts, which Central Texas has a ton, then you kind of like start to understand that in a different way, and you work with kids a little differently.
Yeah.
Being an elementary principal would be a ton of fun because like you kind of get to be everybody's friend in a weird way.
Yeah.
And the only people you really like, I would love working with the kids. I would hate working with the adults.
Yeah, the adults would probably suck.
It's just to be drama and stupid shit
all day.
Like, and as principal, you just be like, oh my god, like take care of it. I don't care. Just take care of it. Like just do your job. Like it's so simple.
Just figure it out.
These are kids. It's not rocket surgery.
He's
like
8.
Yeah, he's 8. What do you mean you can't deal with this 8-year-old? He's 8. You're an adult who went to college for this. Like deal with it. Like I can help, but do you really need this much help? Like I don't know.
Yeah, man. That's talking about all this super.
All that to say, by the way, utmost respect for teachers because I don't do it every day, and I don't know if I could. I could try, and I think I'd enjoy it, but I don't want to because I enjoy my freedoms. So it's kind of like, utmost respect.
It's not for everybody, and the fact that it's not for everybody is why teachers should be treated better.
Yeah, they should. They should.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't at all.
This job dictates the quality of human beings brought into the world.
And for it to be underpaid.
It is underpaid, understaffed, and overworked. And we can't figure out why there's so many assholes in the world.
Ah. It just, oh man. I used to think I wanted to raise my kids in Texas, and I'm still not. I'm not against it, but I think about it a lot more often now, just because of that reason. Like I don't want to send them to private school because that's bullshit. You gotta learn the way everybody gets a chance to learn.
Yeah.
But in that same regard, I just feel like I would so much rather go to a school where everyone's being taken care of, because that trickles down to like the quality of education that you get, I think.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's tough to say.
Knowing as much as I do about the school system of Texas, I still don't know where I'd want them to go.
I know it's hard.
Because I don't
got a great education where I went to, but I was also a good student, which makes
and
I think that there's something to be said about like some kids are just good students.
Yeah.
It's not to toot my own horn.
Every teacher
very like it just worked for me.
Yeah.
It worked for everybody. They need like additional support.
Every teacher is co-parenting. How do I say this? Yeah, every teacher is co-parenting your family's kid.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want it? Why wouldn't you want that to be someone who's adequately compensated?
Yeah.
In what world does that make? Those are the same people who are like paying a babysitter $5 an hour
And being
and like,
frustrated that
and it's
they're
like,
on their phone.
yeah, why are you on your phone? You should be taking care of my. He's like, because you're paying me $5 an hour and I have to work while I'm here.
Trying to take care of other things, trying to set up other gigs because you can't pay me enough.
Yeah, because your broke ass wanted to go out tonight and you were like, oh, I can spend $100 at a restaurant, but I can't spend $60 on a babysitter. Like, I'm not saying pay babysitter $60, but $10 an hour is still not adequate. Like I think if you're paying it, what do you think the appropriate rate for babysitters should be? Let's assume that you have a child who is 5 years old. What's the hourly rate?
I'm going 20.
I am too. Thank you. $20 an hour. If you can't afford it, don't stay out that long.
No.
Because that time away from your children, knowing that like having someone you can actually trust to take care of your kid is like fucking priceless.
Yeah.
That's like silence and the ability to just enjoy yourself. Save the money, spend it on a babysitter, and enjoy your time away.
That being said,
they could put them to bed for you. That's huge.
That being said,
that's what that is.
If I'm paying $20 an hour for a babysitter, I'm not getting my neighbor's 13-year-old to babysit my 5-year-old.
No.
No way. I'm going to a church. I'm finding like the youth pastor like assistant. Like that's who I'm getting. 17.
So I want someone who's been recommended by at least 2 referrals. Like people that I know who have also had that person, and they're like they read stories, they play games, they're always engaged. Like if it's $20 an hour, I expect work.
Yeah.
And that work is in the form of like enrichment with the child or like spending time with them in a meaningful way where they're either learning, playing, enjoying their time together, but being like I got babysitting gigs when I was in high school, and there were kids that I would play chess against as a form of like, I would have to, and they were good, and I got my ass beat. It sucked because like I'm not bad at chess, but these 10-year-olds were so much better than I was, and I was
they
just
like,
murdered
it.
I get it. You're going to West Point, like it's fine. I can tell. Your dad and his dad's dad went to West Point, and that's cool. I respect that for you, but you don't have to kick my ass. Like, why don't we play another game? We play a video game. You don't have it. Okay, no TV. Got it. All right, that's a rule. Got it. Okay, that's all right. So I don't know.
Do you want to learn poker?
Play the slap game. Yeah, you want to play poker?
I'm teaching that kid poker. Yeah, you can't body me up on some chess.
I'm gonna teach that kid how to count cards early.
This is a life skill.
You're gonna thank me.
This is a life skill, son. Pay attention.
Trust, child. You're gonna thank me later. I guarantee.
You're not making money off of chess. You can make some money off of 21.
No, you are not making money off of chess. I can tell you that much. Not in this century. Dude, unless people are like, that's, oh man, can you imagine like this crazy lucrative chess industry? I can't.
What do you? So I'm a degenerate gambler.
What was the last? Okay, what's your favorite? Okay, let's. So Marcus, we're definitely going to a casino soon. Friends of the podcast, you already know this. You're welcome to join. We'll be in Vegas. I live 4 hours away, a very short trip. So we're going soon.
All
period.
Right.
Yeah, we just are manifesting. What is your casino game of choice?
For funsies, I know I'm probably not making much money off of it, is roulette.
How could you not love it?
It's so
funny black.
Like I blame, shout out to, I know my parents are gonna listen to this.
Those are good parents. Those are good supportive.
Yeah.
Awesome. My mom listens to all of my podcasts, and sometimes will text me like, I think that the levels were a little hot at 46:20. I'm like, I'm not mixing this anymore, Mom.
My mom just tells me, she's like, my mom would be like, I feel like you might have shared a little bit too much. So I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. Oops.
My bad.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
when I was talking about my house, and she was like, "You probably shouldn't put all those numbers out." I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I probably shouldn't have." But ah,
I'm just
but
imagining that text just like EUGHHUGH.
ah. Um,
Yeah.
but for my high school graduation, they took me on a cruise, and the cruise had a casino, and the first game that my dad took me to, because that was his game, was roulette.
That's
And
cool.
I posted up for like 2-3 hours, like that first time, just like chilling on it. And I would let some spins go by. You wouldn't gamble every hand, but because of that,
Just like chilling at the table and watching,
yeah,
just placing money when you could feel a groove.
yeah. And because of that is, I think, why I
Ocean's 11 ship, by the way. That's very cool.
100%, yeah, it's an issue. I grew up playing card games like in Florida. Our neighbors would have these wild poker nights. There would be like 3 tables going, and it's basically King of the Hill. You
Like
just,
a LAN party in 2004 with
hell
Halo.
yeah, bro. But it was poker. Shout out to the Gothams. Talk about one of the most gangster last names.
Yeah, damn. That's the kind of last name you go to a car dealership and ask for a car, and they're just like, "All right, we're gonna black it out for you." And it's like, "Really? I didn't ask for that." And they're like, "No, comes with the name." Turns around,
We
we
you need
murdered it
this.
out for you.
You deserve this.
Times black car. We got it matte black. Hope that's okay.
We know it is, but
We know
yeah,
it. They're just like, we're in on it.
between that next door and, like, grew up just playing card games. I had family out in Vegas. Like, I knew I was going to be set up to have a pretty substantial vice. I'm glad that I'm financially savvy enough to not be a fully degenerate gambler,
Oh yeah, there's a responsible way to gamble.
but I will literally bet on anything.
That's a cool that's a cool thing that's like potentially really dangerous, but I love that as like a personality trait too.
Dude,
That just means that what you just communicated to me is you're basically, what I heard was, I'm so fun I can't even handle it sometimes, and I'm like, oh man, Marcus is about to be so fun.
dude, it's an issue with the homies from college, because they'll know that, and they'll like purposely like wait, after like a decent night of going out to the bars. Oh, it would never be at the bars. They'd only do it at like drinking at home. After enough drinks, they'll be like, "Hey Marcus, I bet you can't do 10 handstand push-ups." I was like,
All right, but that feels like low hanging fruit. Have you seen you? God damn, those biceps, the biceps and back, those delts. Get out of here.
well, that's the thing. That it's like, it's the challenge for them too. It's like, how strong is he? Where's he at?
It's like someone being like, no, okay, you got to do it, but you got to take your shirt off.
Bro,
Like,
it feels,
okay, now you gotta do curls with the kegs. Okay, do 20 more. Yeah, that's cool. You can kind of see the vein pop. That's pretty cool. Can you do like 20 push-ups now?
you're looking,
Just really into working out.
looking really good. Yeah,
Dude,
spray some water on you.
Really coming. Yeah, let me just spray some water real quick. Is that cool? Come on, you can win money.
Dude, oh yeah, real easy money. But yeah,
I do squats.
I will, but yeah, I'm a great time in that sense. Like,
Marcus, I know you're a great time. You don't have to sell me on you.
I'm surprised we didn't gamble anything at Steven's wedding. Like,
Missed opportunity. We'll gamble
missed opportunity. Oh, dude, I'm telling you. Like,
if we get married in Oklahoma, we're 15 minutes away in both directions from 2 different casinos.
I've been meaning to go to what is it, Lucky Eagle?
Oh yeah, we're next to Choctaw Resort.
Oh, okay.
The one that North Dallas is their advertising demographic. Like everything in Dallas, like if you watch a Dallas Stars hockey game, like brought to you by Choctaw Casino and Resort. It's like, isn't that in the other state?
Isn't that like 3 hours
Yeah,
away? Yeah,
yeah,
whatever.
it is. That kind of money.
We know you guys will come.
No, that's
We ain't
right.
worried about it.
Well, you're gonna come.
Dude,
Remember, no taxes. You're gonna come.
give me 2 seconds. I need to go to the restroom right quick.
Yeah,
Feel
yeah,
free
yeah.
to continue to talk to the people or just hang tight and we'll edit it out.
You talk to the people. It's a monologue. Oh, that's funny. I mean, we could edit it out. Just like be a PSA. Kind of like it as a PSA. All right, everybody. So I went to a Jamba Juice the other day, which I don't know if they don't have too many in Texas. I don't even know if they do have them in Texas. There's so much better alternatives, I think. I mean, I'd get a margarita instead, but it's neither here nor there. We're looking for something hydrating. It's effectively like a smoothie place. We all know what it is. If not, look it up. Whatever. Went to Jamba Juice the other day, and I think it was like mid-August around that time. It's hot as hell outside. They are already advertising for their pumpkin spice lattes. This is neither a coffee shop nor a PSL friendly place, I thought, until it wasn't. And so, pumpkin spice lattes are a thing again. And I'm just curious, sound off in the comments if on August 30th, you can't wait to get a pumpkin spice latte in this 90 something degree weather. To each his own. I like pumpkin stuff is fine. I think the pumpkin spice latte is overrated. I'm almost certainly going to have one. But that's because you have to. You can't not. Hey, he's back. I was just talking with the team of award-winning listeners about pumpkin spice lattes and how they're back.
Tis the season.
Is it?
No, but
Is it?
I bet money.
Mid-August,
what is it?
for pumpkin spice lattes? Because that feels early.
I bet this Wednesday, September 1st, all hell breaks loose.
At Starbucks?
Yeah, that the pumpkin spice is officially
September 3rd, all hell breaks loose because Drake is dropping a new album.
certified lover boy.
Yeah, wait till Kanye drops like some weird like remix of Donda on that same day. It's just like, I did it again. He's gonna do like what he did with Life of Pablo and just be like, everything's remixed. And like, whoa.
I'm surprised that he didn't, because there's like something ridiculous, like what, 25 songs on Donda?
It's a true like full length Kanye album, which is nice because we haven't had one since 2016.
But I'm saying I'm surprised he didn't like drop half of it today, and then on Friday he drops the other half.
It is kind of, it's a 2-part album, I think. It goes from Donda Chant to Heaven and Hell, which is one of my favorite tracks on the album.
That's a good one.
And then starts back up, I think, with Donda at track 15, and then
I agree with that.
I think that carries through to 23, No Child Left Behind, which is fine. I really like the majority of the album. I think as an album as a whole, it's fucking great.
I'll tell you right now what the song was that I stopped on. But before, so let me finish this thought.
Yeah, finish it. Finish.
I think I was the way I'm willing to gamble, I would again bet money that in a previous life I was a bookie.
Oh, for sure. I could see that. My uncle definitely wants to be a bookie. Not actually be a bookie, but anytime there's any gambling anywhere of any sort, dude is the first guy to be like, "Oh, it's the odds are this to this. Give me your money and I'll keep it for you and we'll figure it out later." And it's crazy how he'll convince people to do that. And he's an entrepreneur, like, kind of what he does, but at the same time, in a grander way, he does that for a living.
Yeah.
But doesn't call it gambling technically, even though it is. So that's
bro. If you're rich and white enough, you don't do illegal things.
He's both of those things. He's the only person. Someone else said this, so I can't take credit for this joke, but it's fucking funny. Someone said that he's the only person they've ever seen who's anti-capitalist and owns 2 Porsches.
Which I dream of the day.
Objectively funny.
I dream of the day to own 2 Porsches.
Just one. There's two. Two is too much.
No, I don't need two, but just like the
You
ability
don't
to do
need
it.
one, but you want one. I want two. I'd love to have three.
Nah, three's too much. I don't.
Hear me
Well,
out. Hear me out. Three is daily driver, track car, and cruiser.
yeah, no, you're
So
okay.
it would be then like a 993 for your cruiser, or like a 964 rather for your cruiser. It's like something vintage that you could take out just like for the it's the weekend car.
Yep,
And then you have your daily driver, which is like the eco, or something that's like stick based for fun. So like a Targa, like a 991 Targa or
yep.
something. And then you have the track car, which is probably like a more mid engine instead of the rear engine. And you'd be running like the 718 GT or their other line that's more like their GT3s, which are way more expensive than that.
If I'm banging out, if I'm balling out, the
If you're
dream
balling
is
out, GT2, GT actually
GT2 RS.
GT3, yeah, GT2 RS is the shit.
That shit's so fast.
It is, man. I've gone to some track days with homies who have them, and like you sit inside and you feel like the car is light. It's a
Yeah,
weird concept, but it feels like it's made of the lightest materials. And that like hearing that rip off is it's something.
it's bananas. I
So
would
what
love
what
it.
track are you on Donda?
It was Pure Souls. I just finished Lord I Need You.
Lord, I Need You is good, right?
Lord I Need You is real good, dude.
Is his song to Kim. Yeah, Pure Souls, you're about to get into the meat of it. So if the first half is like Man on Fire, the second half is Ascension.
Okay.
It's how it's split. So you get the intensity in the first. It's really like a heaven and hell split between the two, where the first is kind of the hell and the like confession of sins, so to speak, and the back half is like that penance and the resanctification. I feel that's
Mm,
how I would describe it, just in how I view the entire process and how these two have kind of smashed together.
I can see that. Absolutely.
I need to listen to it a few more times to really know for
Of
sure.
course. I mean, this is a dense album in the good way.
Yeah, it is. It's gonna take time to unpack it and listen to it. And like I've listened to it on a bunch of different mediums too. I was just driving around the neighborhood today, just spreading the good word of Donda. Actually, just running errands, but I did have my windows down,
Hell
blasting it.
yeah.
People should hear this.
People, you
This
don't
is
need, no, you need it.
good hip hop music. Like
Yeah.
this is gonna win Christian Contemporary Album of the Year.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised.
Jesus, when Jesus is King was winning awards for Christian album, I was like, hey, that's funny.
This feels wrong, but
Got
also it's
him.
accurate.
It's like it's wrong but accurate, and it brings something to the genre that everyone else is like, well, that's not fair.
Dude,
Not supposed to be, bud.
you know what's crazy is so I'm working for two churches now.
Hey, cool.
Playing three services every Sunday. It's
Which
awesome.
ones?
Excuse me.
Excused.
I got heartburn, but all I've had today is like two protein shakes. So what is that? That doesn't
Probably
make any
why.
sense. Yeah, actually, that does make sense.
Is
Oh, it's the Freebirds. I had Freebirds before.
Freebirds and forgot about it?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what it is, Marcus.
Yeah. Anywho,
So you were saying.
it's First Temple Baptist and First Temple Methodist.
Okay, cool.
So two really solid churches.
Yeah.
Really cool to be a part of it. It's
Some
really
good
cool.
budget too, honestly.
Say it again.
With some good budget too. They both are decently stacked.
Not mad about it.
The congregations are solid.
Yeah. So first off, it's cool to be in that system again, because you know I didn't really take part in any church when I was in college, and you know I'm still up in the air as far as where I lie on the religious scope.
Yeah.
Um,
That's tight, man. I mean, like that's your journey.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's so cool about it is like no one can tell you one way or another. Honestly, it's really that is the you journey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not something to be spelled out immediately. So to be in that kind of like finding stage, that discovery phase, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I'm here like the view that I appreciate the most is the Hindu view
Yeah,
of where like they're the ones that are like the most accepting of the different religions. They're just like, we're all going to the same place, bro. However you get there is how you get there. I'm like,
kind of nice, right?
I like, yeah, like I like that.
Like some people find that to be too peaceful.
Yeah. Which is
You can't
bonkers.
you can't say that everyone's right because that means no one's wrong.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, just that's a fun conversation to have. But
Yeah,
um
that'll be on
that
Max and Marcus After Dark for all of our listeners. That's on the explicit version.
it's the Patreon.
yeah, that's on the Patreon. Join us on Patreon as we discuss religion.
Get all the hot takes and views of
You know,
life and
we're gonna get hot takes on religion in Texas. Like,
as
yeah,
I live in the quote unquote Bible Belt.
yeah, I know. I was gonna say like hot takes on religion in Texas is a very short segment.
Um, but dude, um I saw that Donna had dropped in between services, and I was I started listening to it, man, and just like that added vibe of being in a church listening to those songs.
Very cool. Did you hear Hurricane
It was like the
with
first.
Abel with the weekend?
I was driving to the other church while that was on, but I listened to Jail, God Breathed, and Off the Grid.
Off the Grid is so sick, right?
Dude,
Ah,
so
oh
good.
god, it's so good. Off the
But
Grid is a big favorite of mine. Hurricane is a favorite of mine because I had the first couple of iterations of it, and so I've been jamming
okay,
like the last month, and
hell yeah.
yeah, I really like the addition of the choir on it, but I'm not. All of these songs, mind you, I'm not super. There's probably going to be like some sort of alteration, and it's going to be re-uploaded
I
at
wouldn't
some point
doubt it.
because every single song you might notice has really shitty outros. So not even the outro itself, just like the final fade, it's not clean at all. Like I can hear the Pro Tools session that they were working in, and it just sounds like a lazy ass like, well, we got to get to the next track, so we got to just do a quick fade. So you hear like music, and then I'll just go like, but not in any stylistic way. It's literally just because they have to end the song and move on.
Interesting. I hadn't noticed that
Laziest
actually.
fades in the world. It drives me insane.
Issues of being a producer yourself, man.
Issues of not listening to Mike Dean. Someone free Mike Dean. I hope he's okay. I think he played in LA like a week ago, so I think he's fine. But like that that man deserves better. One of the guys I'm working with is actually good friends with him, and he was like, I the other. So this is a real thing that happened. In one of my morning meetings that I do with one of the podcast companies, I was just playing. I was listening to the live, like the Chicago show,
Okay.
the live Donda at Chicago. That was the crazy like video and stuff. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
amazing. It was so much fun to watch.
Hell yeah.
Um, I was on early, so I just popped in some music. It's a Zoom meeting, and I didn't notice anyone had gotten through because I was like texting or something. And then I looked up, and there were people. And someone was like, "Is this Kanye?" Because there's one Kiwi that I work with, he's really cool. He's got great ears.
Hell yeah.
Hey, is this Kanye? And I was like, "Oh yeah, dude, it's actually like it's crazy. This is from his thing that he dropped last night." And then the soup came on, looked, listened, and he was like, and then just bounced out of the meeting. And everybody was like, "Did we just lose him? Like, did he drop or did he like drop?" Someone was like, "I think he just doesn't really like music in the meetings." And another person was like, "I think he just doesn't like Kanye." So I was like,
Oof.
"Oh man, I didn't know that." So we sat for like 5 minutes. I'd shut the music off and was just waiting. He came back on. He was like, "Hey dude, sorry. So I think in the morning, like morning meetings, like let's just. I know there's a lot of like musicians here, but we're not gonna play music in the morning meetings." I was like, "That's fine." Didn't know it, and he was like, "And I'm not. I don't listen to Kanye ever. It gives me like a knee jerk reaction. I just don't." I was like, "Fuck. Okay,
Such a
my bad."
odd opinion to just like
It is and it isn't. Like some people are very die on that hill type people. Um, at least people that I've run into, especially recently. Uh, more than most of the people I've run into who don't like him out here or because they have like some sort of personal experience with a friend who worked with Ye, or in some capacity worked with Ye themselves, and they were like, that was the worst.
Okay, I could get that. Yeah, all right.
And so it's more personal vendetta or negative experience, as opposed to like the our post soup guy is just good friends with Mike Dean through his wife, and so he was like, fuck that guy for what he did to Mike Dean. It's bullshit. And
Yeah.
I was like, you're right. His music's great though.
Dude.
Funniest thing is, like, I sit here and I'm just like, yeah, no, I don't disagree with anything you're saying, but this music is fantastic and it's probably going to be studied in 100 years. So like,
this is so dope, and I've had it on the loop for the past 48 hours. I'm sorry.
It's like, yeah, I get that he's not a great person. I agree with you. I'm not disputing that in any way, but like, have you heard the album?
So
really good.
let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Before Donda, all right? Because Donda is definitely a step back into this idea. But who do you miss more? Old Ye or Old Chance?
Old Ye, easy.
Really?
I've never been super into Chance though.
Really?
Yeah, Chance is like the other style of Chicago rap for me.
Sorry. Don't miss it.
Nope.
Who fell off more?
That's an interesting one. That's a better question.
That's a better question.
I feel like after Life of Pablo, Kanye's productions kind of tanked because I don't know. I can't speculate. Like, his productions just kind of tanked though, except for Kids See Ghosts, which was fucking awesome. But he started doing a lot of like 7-track LP style albums.
Yeah.
Even Jesus is King is really short in comparison. Like, Jesus is King is like half an hour.
Yeah.
This album is an hour and 40 minutes.
Long boy.
The movie Chicken Run is longer than this. Or sorry, it's shorter than this album is longer than the movie Chicken Run. Think about that for a minute.
That's beautiful.
That's crazy.
That's a beautiful statistic.
I love that one, yeah. And so it's nice to have a full length again from him. And so I think I'm a little bit more forgiving in that regard. But I think he fell off more because I didn't trust like new shit that was coming out. I was like, I hope it's good, and then was just disappointed.
Okay.
I think a lot of that is due to just him being busy with other things.
Go through life shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and then like on this album in particular, since he decided he was going to curse again because he hasn't since Life of Pablo, it's been nice.
And it's tasteful.
It is. It is. I think it is.
It's thought about. It's well punctuated when needed. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Dude, but I have such an emotional connection specifically to Coloring Book.
Oh yeah? Why is that?
So that came out in 2016.
Good.
Which might be the best year for music.
Interesting contention. I think you might be onto something. I think 2012 might have you beat, but go on.
It's like 16, 12, and I think like 9 were like some like the power. It was either like 8 or 9. I can't remember. But like if you look at the albums that came out in 16, good googly.
Oh wow, googly. Yeah.
Like there's
a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blonde 2016, Pablo 2016, Childish Gambino had that album 2016. Tribe had that album. Lemonade came out in 16. Ants, Malibu from Andy Pack. Like No Worries had that album. Solange had that album that kicked ass. Low key, people weren't listening to it, but important, K Tronada's 99.9% came out that year. People only started discovering it like last year.
That's the thing.
It was listed for the Grammys last year, which is like, this album's been out for years. What the fuck is this shit? Late to the party, guys.
Come on now. But there's like, I mean, you got Travis Scott, Antidote.
Yeah.
That's For Your Eyes Only, Cole.
That's a great album too.
Like there were some like hitter albums in 16.
Yeah. Yeah, there were. No, the 16, I think 16, I mean, that's going to be a tough one to contend with. Like, shoot. I mean, let's see. What came out in 2012? I mean, Channel Orange came out in 2012. The Heist from Macklemore, Ryan Lewis came out in 2012.
Solid.
Good Kid, Mad City came out in 2012.
Yep.
It's pretty solid. Crystal Castles 3 came out in 2012. I don't know if you've heard about that album, but that's a really good one.
Okay, I don't think I have.
I like Crystal Castles. Two Door Cinema Club's Beacon came out in 2016, which is cool. I don't know, but there's not. Oh, Com Truise's In Decay came out in 2012. I like that album a lot.
Okay.
Lana Del Rey's Born to Die. Nas Life is Good. I mean, Jack White's Blunderbuss came out the same time. I don't know. That was kind of a meh. I mean, lots of good stuff came that year, but just generally, as I'm looking at some of it, it's not as strong as 16. Let's see. You said 2008?
It was either 2008 or 2009. I think where like it was another really really big hitter. Whichever year the Carter 3 dropped, that's the year.
I think Carter 3 came out in 2008. That was an interesting year. That's funny because there's also like
that was such a strange year in music. Like it's good albums, but like 16, like you just have these hitters rap albums. Like everybody came out with it. Then like 2008, I think you got like Carter 3, which people argue is the best Wayne album.
I liked Funeral Funeral a lot. Whatever his newest album is.
Really, you liked it?
I thought it was good, man. The first half is good. The first half feels like classic Wayne.
After that,
I'm like,
got a little weird.
Vampire Weekend's self-titled album came out in 2008, and that's a fucking great album. That's a great album.
That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that Carter 3 and Vampire Weekends same year, like that's a
what psychopath created that list that didn't have like anything in the top. Like all their top 10 was just like, what the fuck is this? Hot Chips Made in the Dark, 2008. That's pretty cool. Guns N' Roses, Chinese Democracy. I know you love that one. Metallica's Death Magnetic, the astoundingly overcompressed nightmare of an album. Yeah, that one. That one was in there. Fleet Fox's self-titled album was also there. That's a good one. Black Keys Attack and Release, also a good one. Kings of Leon Only by Night was 2008, and that's a fucking great album. Carter 3 too. My Morning Jacket's Evil Urges, that's a good one. Viva La Vida came out that year as well. Beck's Modern Guilt, don't care about Beck at all. No one can convince me otherwise. Yeah, it was fine. I mean, MGMT's Oracular Spectacular came out that year too, and that was a really good one. That one has like all the fun.
Yeah.
Shit. Taylor Swift's Fearless came out that year, which is crazy to think about.
She's been in the game for so long.
Dude, she's maybe one of the best music business people in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe the best, honestly, in terms of being a business, like a music business person who manages their entire brand. Like Taylor Swift, I have nothing but respect for Taylor Swift.
I'll put her on a versus against Jay-Z.
Oh yeah, well,
like as a business,
Jay-Z owns an NBA team. I think that's a little different, Marcus. Like Jay-Z's not a businessman. He's a businessman.
Businessman.
He's a businessman. Like
best bars.
Those are two different things.
That's fair.
I like Taylor Swift a lot. I don't put Taylor Swift and Jay-Z in the same category all the time. That's a weird one, though.
It's a weird one, but
that's a tough.
Off the top of my head, you know, I want to get your opinion on the verses, but let me go back to why Coloring Book was such a
shoot.
My life like fell apart that year.
Yeah, The Fray came out in 2009, self-titled album, which did really well.
Hell yeah, good album. But
it's okay. An okay album. Black Eyed Peas, The End. So sorry, Coloring Book.
I was just gonna see if you would let me go with saying that it was a great album.
Good question, Jay.
like that was the year. Like I just found out that I was being pushed back a year for graduation.
Ugh.
Um, I was supposed to teach a group for the first time by myself, but the indoor program folded. Like my car had broke down. I just gotten kicked off of all my gigs. I didn't have a job at like for a stint of time. Didn't have a car for a stint of time. This was like right before like I figured out the Uber thing and all that. But like
Huh.
I distinctly remember sitting in um in my apartment, and the sun was going down as I was sitting on the couch just listening to this album, and like How Great came on right as the sun was setting, and just listening to How Great like on full blast, just sitting there in like in otherwise silence. Like it's like, okay, shit sucks, but I think it'll be all right.
Nice.
And then like, and it ended up working out, right? Like I think that week I 5 years later, here I am sitting in a house. Yeah.
My man.
Crazy. Like it's so bonkers to think, like I still have imposter syndrome on that. Like why do I have a house? I don't have a house.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fair.
I'm just
That's a crazy, yeah. Like one of Liz's best friend from back home also has a house, and I mean he feels the same way because he's got like, I don't know, like you did. It kind of the way that I view it is like it gets kind of weird because like I'm finally getting I'm like righting the ship financially this year, which is
nice.
awesome.
Hell yeah.
So like paying off a shit ton of debts. I should be debt free by the end of the year, which is really exciting.
That's badass, dude.
Yeah, I know it's fucking great, and like I'm telling everyone I can to just be like, hey, like it's possible. Like you
Yeah.
should always be thinking that it's possible because it is. But I think part of that is like, okay, so then what?
Yeah.
And be able to like have the wherewithal to make the right financial decisions to end up having a house is a whole nother thing. And it would be weird if you didn't have like some sort of imposter syndrome, even in a small amount, because it's a significant life step.
Yeah. And like the added weirdness of the fact that I'm single and I
Yes,
bought a house.
single with a home. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of strange the process.
Yeah. How did I afford to, okay, I have a car. Let me buy a motorcycle. Oh, I can, all right, bought the motorcycle. Oh, I've got enough money to buy another car. All right, let me buy that car. Oh, I got enough money to buy a house. No, I don't. Oh shit, I do. Oh shit, I have a house.
Not only that, you've got like liquid equity.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And the fact that I
That's
still got,
really cool.
I didn't deplete my entirety of the savings.
Yeah, that's massive, dude. I'm so proud of you. Like
Thanks,
really,
man.
friend of like I am super proud of you.
It's gross the amount of debt that I do have when you put it all in together, because between student loans and the house, like
Sure, but like,
but
debt ultimately is an imaginary number.
yeah,
Having an action plan is a real thing. So if you've got a plan of action and like the right attitude, then debt is not something that can't be squashed, right? It's just it's a temporary thing no matter how long it really lasts. It's always going to be temporary because you're going to figure it out.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I will, because I figured it out up until here. And like I
Yeah.
said, my life has fallen apart on multiple
You're
occasions.
continuing to figure it out, and it's gotten you into some cars, a motorcycle, and a house. So I think you're doing something right or horribly wrong that we're not talking about, where you're just like, hey man, like the gambling has led to this crazy rise in finances, which has led to me gambling the house. Like that would be a
Yeah,
thing, which would be a wild story I hope to never hear, but would also listen to.
would be super dope. Like
Would it?
who doesn't want to hear a dude magically ends up winning a 500K and then manages to lose his entire life?
I mean, I feel like that happens more often than not with people who win large sums of money as not good things.
Not good things.
It's a very big like money does not equal happiness. It's like people who win the lottery don't do well after. Ever.
We mostly go
Ever.
bankrupt. Mostly go bankrupt.
Almost always.
Yeah.
If I win the lottery tomorrow, you know the first person I'm talking to is? Not someone I know. Be a motherfucking lawyer. Be a lawyer with a pretty good retainer.
I'm talking to a lawyer and or a financial advisor.
I know a financial advisor who sits atop SMU overlooking the campus and doesn't
Jesus.
talk to anyone who's worth less than like X $1,000,000. And if I won like a multi-million-dollar lottery, first person I would contact is her and just be like, I need help.
100%.
You tell me what to do and I'll do it.
Trust you fully. I'm gonna tell you off the top, I'm gonna buy these like 3 or 4 things, and then you tell me everything else I need to do.
I wouldn't even do that. I would just say like I want to spend some money on some like asinine shit.
Yeah.
Tell me how much I can actually do that and be okay. And we'll be like just you tell me. And then we'll go from there.
Actually, you're right. You're a smarter man than I. That's why I bring you on the podcast, so that way you can tell me how I should do my life once I make
Financial advisor
dollars.
Max Carney joins us on the podcast today.
Dude.
Imaginary financial advisor.
You're about as much of a financial advisor as I am a physical therapist.
Financial advisor. Oh my
God. Man, if you're scrubbing debt this quick, you've got about as many qualifications as I do as a physical therapist. I don't really know how to make you feel better, but I can show you some stretches and alleviate some of the pain.
It doesn't not help.
Exactly.
Is it physical? Yes. Is it therapy? Kind of. So I think
we're gonna count it.
Yeah. So do you think that you'd want to be a personal trainer someday? Just out of curiosity, I'm curious.
It's in the wheelhouse of things that I would like to do.
Yeah. Because like I'll tell you right now, I love mixing and doing podcasts and doing cool storytelling shit and doing unscripted stuff and producing music and doing short films, and it's fun. I really sincerely enjoy it. But I definitely want to own my own business someday. Yeah. Like 100%. Like it's not even a question. It's just a matter of when the timing is right. Is really
absolutely.
So crushing like the debt is phase 1, creating savings is phase 2, and then killing the game is phase 3. Followed by step 4. I don't know what step 4 is, but step 5 is profit. Step 4 is unclear.
Step 4 is don't fall off.
Step 5 is profit, baby.
Nah,
like
man.
Underpants gnomes in South Park. Steal underpants. Profit. We don't know how we get there, but we do.
There's a magical step 2.
Step 2, and then profit.
Then profit. That's how it works.
That's how it works.
But no, there's definitely like as much as I love teaching, I do want to do other things eventually.
Nice.
And I mean, the dream would be to achieve those other things through the podcast. You know, I joke around about having a food truck, but I'd love to own a bar and grill. I would love to be some kind of personal trainer at some capacity. And then keeping music in my life at some capacity as well. Like, I don't know.
Nice. Yeah, I want to have a basement that like friends can come over, and if you're like hanging, you can record something. That's ideally what I want.
That'd be badass. Yeah.
I want like the recording aspect of my life to, as I get older, shift into more like I do this because I love it and it's fun.
Yeah.
I can make money off of it if we really want to, if I need to.
Yeah.
But I don't have to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like I want to, like, that's why I want to own my own business, so I can like put all the, like, I know how to manage a team and I know how to create something that works. And so it'd be doing all of those things and then getting everything in place so that way it runs itself at some point, so I can then pursue other things.
Hell yeah.
It just makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
my level of fame that I want to get to is Brendan Schaub. You
Oh,
familiar?
nice. No.
Okay, so he grew up as a football player, got drafted. He's basically a walk on at the Bills, didn't make it, turned into a UFC fighter.
Oh
Made,
shit.
made to top 10 in the UFC, got out, and then became a reporter for News. Yeah.
It's tight.
And now he's just a podcast mogul.
That's cool. Why not?
He let's see, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 podcasts
That's cool.
that he does. He's got a whole studio and he's out there in LA. He's a comedian now, and it's like he's got enough money to where he could fund a massive warehouse to hold 4 different podcasts, own a GT2 RS, but he's not on TMZ at all.
Nice.
Like,
yeah, that's like, yeah. That sounds about right. I would want like a level of fame like a small town mayor. Like something I really love lately is like since I've been going to the park and playing tennis and then just like talk to a bunch of people in the neighborhood is like the neighborhood's getting smaller.
Okay.
You know, just like I feel like anytime I go for a walk, I'm going to see somebody and have a chat with them because we recognize them now.
Hell yeah.
And it's fucking cool. Like I'm friends with like all the homeless guys that are regulars, like just around the area, and make sure that they're taken care of, and they make sure I'm taken care of. Like straight up, like every one of them has been like, "Hey, like, I just want you to know, like, I got your back if you ever need it." And I was like, "Man, thank you." I was like, "Same to you, dude. Like, just let me know if I can do anything for you."
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know what that means, but I respect the hell out of it.
Thanks for saying it.
Just be like, I'm gonna call you up.
I don't know when I'm gonna need you.
Someone throwing hands, I'm gonna call you up, my man.
Hell
like,
yeah.
You're my backup. You're my back door.
That's dope.
My favorite things in middle school is when one of your friends would be like, "Don't worry, dude, I've got your back door," and like you're never gonna fight. I didn't fight at all in middle school. What are we talking about? Look at me. Do I look like someone who would get in a fight ever? No. So like, still have people that are like, "Hey man, I got your back door though. If this goes south, I got your back door," and be like, "That's a byproduct of growing up in Killeen, Texas." Like,
100%, and it's a beautiful sentiment, and I hope people realize how much that statement means.
They probably don't. I think once you exit certain places, if you grew up in certain places, then saying there's a different kind of significance being like, "Yo, I got your back door." It's like, okay, sure, whatever. Like, no, that's a big deal.
No. That shit's real.
Yeah, man. You know what you're saying?
Yeah.
Don't say it if you mean it.
Oh my gosh. So I don't want to get too much into the story of what happened, but I got this freshman
for legal reasons. I thought you were going to talk about a fight, but like, continue.
Well, almost.
Oh,
could have gone there.
We won't use names.
So
what were their names?
We'll call them White Girl, Hood Rat 1, and Hood Rat 2.
Sorry, White Girl subsect, Hood Rat 1, White
no,
Girl subsect,
White Girl is 1.
Oh, it's 3 people. Got it. White Girl, Hood Rat 1, Hood Rat 2. Got it.
Yep. So naturally, I attract the Hood Rats.
You don't say.
Fancy that, right? Who'd have guessed?
That Bruce Wayne. Fancy that.
But in the good way. Like they trust me because they're like, we get the vibe that you used to be a hood rat. So I'm gonna believe you when we tell me things.
There's like an understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a mutual understanding of respect. So the white girl decided to catch an attitude with one of the band moms. Yeah.
Her mom or some other mom?
Another mom. But it happened to be Hood Rat 1's friend's mom.
Got it.
So can't be doing that. Don't
Attitude with another mom.
don't be catching attitude with any of the band moms. They're like they're God's gift to the bands.
Yeah.
Don't be
Fool.
disrespectful. Secondly, if you're gonna catch an attitude with them, don't like be mindful of who you catch an attitude with, because there's a decent amount of hood rats in the program.
Yeah.
And hood rats, they'll say something to you. And they did, and it was hilarious because I found out that hood rat 2 didn't say nothing, didn't do nothing, but like when she heard what happened, one went to go confront the white girl, and the second one just like
posted up,
just
damn.
ready.
That's pretty dope, though. That's friendship right there.
And I was like, that's why I keep y'all in my life, because that's
friendship observed in like a very real way. That's very cool.
Like y'all need to have friends like her, because she
y'all take notes.
Ready. She was like, she didn't know what was gonna happen. She didn't think anything was gonna happen, but if anything did happen, trust, she's ready to throw hands.
Oh yeah.
All that to be said, again, for legal reasons, I'll finish the story. Nobody was hurt in this altercation. They ended up managing it in a very civil and proper way. You know, shout out. I like to think that I took a part in that and making sure that.
Oh, nice. Marcus the Arbiter.
Right. Well, I didn't say none or do none, but just in my.
He didn't even have to. Everybody
teaching over the years.
His aura.
My teaching over the years of like, hey, let's not get into a fight. I need you here. And they're like,
what a relaxed. That's a tight thing to say, honestly. Because like it's so unexpected, but expected at the same time. It's like this weird, like, well, why would you say that? It's so obvious. Like, who just says what's on their mind? Like
bananas.
Why would someone just say what they're thinking?
I have a bunch of these kids, and they're like, bro, this girl is trying me, and she's about to catch his hands. I'm like, yo, I got you, but I need you not to hit her, because
that's not the answer.
Because if you hit her, you're gonna go to alternative school, and then I'm gonna be down a bass drummer. And they're like, damn, all right, yeah, you're right, I got you. But if she swings on me, I'm swinging on her. I'm like, all right,
yes, because that's retaliatory.
Yeah. I'll give you that. I can't. If she swings on you, you have full.
Hey, bro, the code is don't strike first. That's
exactly
the code. Don't strike first, but finish it.
Just make sure it's worth it. If you're gonna get kicked out of school, make sure.
Yeah, know the hill that you die on.
Yeah,
wrong.
Yeah, make it worthwhile.
Yeah, protect yourself, but like you don't have to like harm others to do so.
Exactly. Just handle the situation.
Yeah,
and be done with it.
Yeah. Damn, bro. Hey, I gotta wrap up soon.
You're good, man. I had a fantasy draft that I think started.
Oh, really?
30 minutes ago, but.
Oh man, I need to check and see if I'm in like 3 leagues and no one knows when any of them's drafting. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I'm missing the draft right now. Well, shit.
Dude, it's not about the draft, it's about how you manage the aftermath.
Yeah.
As long as you're set up to auto draft, it'll just pick best available, which should work out decently well for you.
I don't know if I was set up for that. Let's see.
If you're not in, it'll automatically do it. You go through ESPN?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're set up to auto draft then. It'll make everybody else mad. But you can pop in at any time if it started and start selecting.
I don't even think I have the app currently. That's not good.
The rest of this podcast is just a fantasy podcast.
Let me tell you the top picks. Let me tell you the top picks of people I'm not going to pick, because everybody I play with is far more into fantasy than me.
That's funny.
And
I can help you if you want. I'm very into fantasy. I love that shit.
I enjoy it, but I also just enjoy being a troll.
Nice. I hope you had first pick.
I was 5th.
Oh, that's a great position.
Great position. And here I am. As I'm downloading the app. Great job, Marcus. Well
Damn.
done. I
That's
thought
fun.
I had it.
You got any final thoughts?
Uh, that's my question first off. But if you're gonna ask me,
All right, we'll take that from the top. We'll start at 1. Can we get
no,
placed? Are we still rolling? Okay, cool. No, straight through, rolling straight through. Sound speeding? Great. All right.
we good?
And
All right. Action. No, I started journaling
oh, nice.
and I think I like it.
Okay. I like that
Um,
you like it. That's cool. No,
yeah,
it's
man.
it's a good thing to do. It's kind of like a self-reflection kind of thing.
Yeah. So like I talked about it on I think the last podcast I recorded of just like I'm cognizant of my mental and physical well-being
It's good.
and and enough people have talked about the benefits of journaling. So I already stretch, yoga, light workout, and meditate and affirmations in the morning. So
That's extremely healthy.
super healthy.
Kind of disgusting.
You
I'm a
know,
little disgusted by how healthy you are, like in every aspect of your life. This is suspicious.
I got to take care of myself. Again, I'm doing everything backwards. I still don't have a wifey, so I'm just gonna be the perfect package for somebody eventually.
You, she doesn't even know. She don't even know. Like,
Not ready for this level of just like
oh,
Zen understanding, mental health, physical health, all that shit.
Man,
But I so far I like it. I've got to create the habit. I put the journal at first. I didn't have the journal by the bed. That was a dumb call. But now it's on my nightstand. But I think it's going to be beneficial, man.
use a pen or a pencil?
I use a purple felt tip pen.
That's very nice.
Yeah,
that's very thoughtful.
So it's a very like pleasing.
That feels good.
It feels good in the hand, and it also just like once I'm done, it just looks good. It looks pretty.
I like pens because you feel a little bit more okay about making mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because once you've made a mistake with a pen, it's okay. You made a mistake. It's fine. Just move on.
Scratch it out. And...
Yeah. With an eraser, you can erase. You can't erase mistakes in life, but you can with a pen move on. So I think for like a journal on like a mental and emotional level, I like it specifically for those reasons.
Absolutely, man. But so I'm just I'm doing my best to make life easier where I can, because of so much things are not easy at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
But fingers crossed, it's gonna be a good year, baby. I'm hopeful.
We're more than halfway through, so good school year.
Good school year. What about you, man? Final thoughts, words?
Oh, final thoughts, final words. Let's see. I think that Jake Paul and Logan Paul have too much money, and I really hope that in one of these UFC matches, the guys that they're fighting ignore the fact that they're being paid to get knocked out and just knock one of them out. Just so they like get a dose of reality. I don't wish harm upon anyone, but I do wish a dose of reality in whatever form it might be. I hate the Paul brothers. I think they're terrible people. Additional thoughts to that, I think that Coke Zero's redesign, making the can red, has actually made it taste better. And they're advertising that it's more delicious, but I swear to God, it's a different formula. And this is the kind of stuff that lives rent-free in my mind, and in fact, it's my favorite tenant. So those are my final thoughts. So if you're listening, go try Coke Zero. It tastes different, I swear. Get it in a can. Trust me. Everyone who I've had try it, or like in my immediate kind of socio-familial like group, has said very specifically, "Oh, that tastes better." It's like this surprised reaction mixed with like, I didn't expect it to taste different when you said it tastes different, but that does taste different. So food for thought.
All right.
Those are my final thoughts.
I'll check out some Coke Zero. Always the eloquent speaker and thoughtful opinionator, Mr. Maxwell Carney. I appreciate you jumping on, man, as always. I can't wait to see you whenever we go to the casino, whenever that may be. And I can't wait to see you.
We'll do a live show in the hotel room.
Oh my gosh. Hopefully it actually happens, because me and Evan
I'm manifesting this. It's going to.
Well, me and Evan talked about doing
a Vegas.
We were supposed to do a show when we were down in Mexico, and then we just kept drinking because of free booze. And
that's a good reason. That's a good reason. That's a good excuse, at least. Like,
yeah,
awesome.
Oh man. So whenever it happens, I can't wait to see you. Shout
out to the award-winning listeners. Love you guys.
Love y'all. Thank y'all for riding us all the way to the end. Shout out to mom and dad, because that's the only people I believe that actually listen to my podcast. And shout out Max's mom, and
and Liz's grandparents who are listening.
And Liz's grandparents.
Mops and pops. Shout out to you.
Don't hurt my boy Evan's feelings when he mixes this. It's not his fault that the sound quality is bad. I've not soundproofed anything in my apartment.
You sound great on my end. I think you sound
perfect.
I hope I sound okay. Like a big shout out to Evan for mixing this. I know it's long, so
shout out Evan. Shout out Evan. Shout out Chris for getting the video stuff out as well.
Shout out Kanye for finally dropping Donda now on Apple Music and Spotify and Tidal for those of you who are bougie and have it. Donda out now.
Donda's out now. Go listen to that album. Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley are fighting right now. They already fought. By the time this drops, T Wood, I think, got the better of him. I think he got the better of Jake.
Damn, spoilers.
Let's hope, man. He needs to do it for the Black culture and for the UFC culture, and to just let all this nonsense
video
stop.
Clip of Ty talking to Jake, and he's just like telling him that he's like from the hood and everything, and Jake was like, "I get that," and he was like, "No, you don't." Like,
you don't.
Like, immediately put him in his place, and there was just like this long silence where everyone was like,
it was beautiful. I loved it.
So good. I want to bathe in it.
I'm gonna send you my equally as favorite moment. I'm gonna send it to you right now. But anyways, this outro has been going on too long. I appreciate you jumping on, big dog. Everybody that's been rocking us all the way to the end. Appreciate you guys. Y'all be easy. Love y'all.
Love you guys.